So
cute.
Rascal is going to be on the Pharah, so this EscA soldier is going to be very important. Already the concussive blast knocks Miro.
So Miro, all that confidence that we saw in that video is answered by Rascal. Of course, they were the ones having the conversation, Wolf.
Yeah, and conversation answered here, at least with this first concussive blast. Now they have control of this choke point with a few more rockets coming in, looking for that ult charge as Gido looks to surprise.
He's not building any ult charge if he's just waiting there for so incredibly long. Has to recall quite quickly, but is able to get around the side as Lunatic-Hai try and coordinate this response. It's a nice biotic field though, denying so much of that damage. Rascal just picked off. Has he taken a lot of damage beforehand? EscA avoids the knockoff from that team. Oh, birdring!
The Helix rockets, good call-outs there on the side of Panthera to give his location and also ask for some support to prevent him there from grabbing the health pack. Will this be the flip for Panthera? It doesn't look like it.
Well, this Baby D.Va battle's actually looking pretty dangerous for Void. The mech was gained by Zunba, who just hops back in it one more time. Pulse Bomb comes in, no stick available.
All right, so Rascal yet again on the Pharah here, looking to find some picks, looks for the shots onto EscA. Unfortunately, good protection here so far from Zunba. As you can see, he's just babysitting everybody against us. Here comes the dive. Sound Barrier committed to counter it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ultimates available on both sides, but yeah, there's the nano, but he's booped off the edge! Wakawaka is going to secure that one. Tobi picks up a kill of his own, but birdring now with so much damage. Another boop kill as EscA falls off the edge. This Lucio, he's booping on cooldown and picking up the kills, Wolf.
There's a 2. They had the concussive blast boop earlier as well, man. Several here for Panthera.
There's nothing cooler than saying blast boop on air, by the way. That's one of my favorite alliterations.
Exactly. So the blast boop, super good. And now they have even an ult economy advantage currently with the flip. So you don't need ults when you can just knock people off the side of the map.
Exactly right. That was a whole nano boost just completely obliterated by just Miro falling off the edge. It's just too good out of KongDoo Panthera, and this is what we know that they're capable of. They need to stay on this point and continue denying. EscA does have himself his ultimate available, so that beautiful tracking is certainly going to be there as Rascal, he's got a rocket barrage for himself, just trying to get rid of the defense matrix so that he can use it freely. But there it is, it goes down, eaten by Zunba. Like we said, that defense matrix so incredibly important. And now Lunatic-Hai capitalizing. KongDoo Panthera with a very late transcendence from Luffy.
Oh, Transcendence here now. EscA has this tag visor as soon as it expires. And it looks like this time it's going to be Void who's one of the last to fall.
And that's just coordination far better from Lunatic-Hai.
See you later.
Absolutely nothing that Rascal can do. He was just trying to fall off the edge as quickly as possible. EscA says, I want to pad my KDA.
Well, you know, that was really just a misjudging, actually, by Rascal, thinking that we were going to see Zunba was going to just continue moving forward there, and he saw the opportunity over the defense matrix to get those picks. I know we're going far back in time, but he wasted his ultimate there, and that was the beginning of the end of that fight for KongDoo Panthera.
Well, Luffy's going to get taken down immediately here as KongDoo Panthera run in, and once again, it's late on the ultimates. Both sound barriers go down, but Luffy, he's already dead. birdring not going to get booped off as he's trying to run out here. He's in fact just getting beaten up by Miro, who's made sure that there is no soldier for this ongoing fight. Lunatic-Hai losing a lot of their health bars, but the overtime is now ticking down and the kills are flooding in for Lunatic-Hai. This is the championship match that we were wanting out of these guys straight out of the gate. As the overtime ticks down, that is a dominating first point.
Absolutely. Better judgment of the team fights. And again, we talk about the matchups of the D.Va, Zunba versus Void here. It was really the misjudging of Panthera, looking for opportunities that weren't there because Zunba just reacted so quickly. Notably, of course, on that Rascal rocket barrage. That was the beginning of the end, I feel like, for Panthera. And this Genji-less comp coming out from Lunatic-Hai as Whoru is on the bench looks really strong right now. EscA's long-range tracking when he's not being knocked off the map, very impressive, but feels like Gido is just the better tracer, way more coordinated, way better tracking than EscA so far. EscA's had his moments, but in terms of consistency on that first point, it's Gido. Oh, I have to prefer myself, Atlas.
Yeah, well, at the moment, he's not going to be on the Tracer. He's now going to be the resident Genji. So this is the real test. Can Gido be better than Who Are You?
This is his
Which
first
I think
Genji
is going
ever.
to be very, very difficult.
Yeah, this is his first Genji televised in Apex ever, so we'll see if he can make it happen. Impressing already on the Tracer. We haven't even seen how good his Genji is. No one has.
KongDoo Panthera actually going to do without the Tracer completely in this composition. Rascal goes back to his tried and true Genji that we know he's very, very good at. Ryujehong actually off to the side here is going to be unharassed on the point. Rascal picks up the kill onto Gido as that Genji battle is most certainly... Oh! That's going to be earned as there's the knockoff. Boy just says, see you later.
My face when I just got Diva booped while I was trying to get some right-click kills.
Yeah.
Poor Ryujehong.
Body slammed by a giant mech. That is not what you want. As now, KongDoo Panthera once again assume control of the point first up. They didn't last time though, and it didn't necessarily work out for them.
Massive ult advantage. Gido is only able to build up to 37 compared to Rascal, who's sitting on that Dragon Blade pretty right now. Birdring going to have the tag soon, so just more consistent fighting there in this last fight. They're running the comp we saw from Afreeca Freecs Blue in the last set. There's that right-click kill.
Yeah, did he just right-click balls right into Luffy's face?
Looks
that was
like
terrifying. Okay, EscA's going to come in with a pulse bomb. We'll see whether he actually can get the stick. I believe there was a defense matrix there as Lunatic-Hai, they come in with every ultimate that they can find, and they are going to be able to get the picks for it. In fact, almost everyone is dead on the side of KongDoo Panthera. His flip is going to happen very quickly and does so. We start moving things up. Only 42% gained by KongDoo this time.
A very quick flip. The most important part of that fight was killing Rascal in Dragon Blade, but KongDoo has 5 ults. Dragon Blade, of course, notwithstanding, to push here to actually try to retake. Transcendence is going to be the first one used as Luffy wants to give some sustain here. Zunba has this very important self-destruct. He's going to pop it down here to regain his mech.
Yeah, and Fish is actually just going to beat everyone up. Self-destruct comes in but doesn't net any kills. We'll see whether it's actually brought the fight in the position that they want it though, as Miro is able to take down Luffy. Now on the point, KongDoo Panthera, they're ticking it up and they are going to get the flip once again. And they still have self-destruct and sound barrier and tac visor available to them.
Yeah, Zunba using that self-destruct there, the early point of that fight is definitely going to be a problem for them, as Birdring now has a sound barrier, doesn't need the tac visor until his best opportunity.
Oh, Gido!
Knocked out by Luffy.
And just after he uses the Dragon Blade as well, so no opportunities. Birdring just utilizing his tracking right now, hasn't even pressed that Q button. KongDoo Panthera just feel like they don't need it, as we are going to have a cheeky little attempted flip, but Tobi's going to fall. Ryujehong's going to do the same thing. So Rascal dancing around with his Dragon Blade now, but possibly a little bit late.
Yeah, not really necessary there. I like the more conservative style of Birdring, for example, as you said, just relying on his own aim more than the tac visor. So held on to it even after Zunba was knocked out of the mag. So Void holds on to that self-destruct. They just want to save it there for the last push coming over for Lunatic-Hai. All they have is the Transcendence, as Gido was killed immediately with that Dragon Blade last time. Gonna be desperation here out of Lunatic-Hai. Here's the Transcendence.
Yeah, Ryujehong's gonna get them at least onto the point as Gido immediately takes down Luffy. Can KongDoo actually answer this as Rascal so extraordinarily low? EscA's gonna be able to secure that kill, but that's gonna be the knock off the edge. Void, he's just gone. And this should be the flip available now for Lunatic-Hai, as KongDoo Panthera will have some time to get a retake.
And now it feels painful that Rascal did use that Dragon Blade, because if he had it now, they'd have a 6 ult push. They still have the 5, of course, and Luffy can actually use his Transcendence to actually build up the Dragon Blade for Rascal, so be basically invulnerable there coming in to get that ult charge. So I like that KongDoo just said, okay, let's just let this go. We're going to have a 6 ult push to follow this up. They didn't commit anything there. Now they're going to commit an EscA. Looks for the pulse bomb here. He's actually switched to the Tracer.
Yeah, it just doesn't get anything with it, though, as Rascal takes down Ryujehong already. KongDoo Panthera now with a 6-man sound barrier, and Gido forced to get the heck out of this fight. He does keep a bunch of his health bar, but Luffy's taken down Tobi. Miro falls as well, as Void continues to go on an onslaught. Zumba's mech is just going to mean that there is no defense available. Overtime should tick down, and this will be 1-1 on control as KongDoo Panthera answer back. We got a series on our hands.
Oh, yes, we do. Very much a a better control of the skirmishes on the side of Panthera.
Much better coordination that time as well.
And they had the better ult economy consistently. Obviously, when they had that longer capture, that's going to give them the edge there. But with the one exception of Rascal popping that late Dragon Blade, every time they had these big team fights, they only popped the ultimates when they were necessary, which is why we saw, instead of some desperation sound bearers, we saw the 6-man sound bearer, then the 6-man desynced Transcendence, so they didn't overlap, then the Dragon Blade coming in after all that said and done. So just better coordination in terms of ultimates. They had more to use because in fights that were really close, they just simply didn't have to. And EscA, again, kind of stuck between the Soldier and the Tracer, with Gido here instead of Who Are You, kind of having to swap between them. They don't really have the opportunity to triple DPS here unless Zumba's going to switch over the Soldier, which would of course make them D.Va-less, which has been declining in popularity.
Yeah, most certainly has, but most people want to keep these divas amongst it, which is why Who Are You is going to be the one on the bench.
Exactly. See if that ends up being a liability for them later on.
Gido, back to this Tracer, like you said, so he's just harassing around the side. Opportunities for some kills, but forced to use that recall. Ryujehong's going to take down Rascal. Those could be a great opportunity now for Lunatic-Hai to get themselves the first cap. And Luffy's going to fall down as well. So with a man advantage, should just be control being gained as EscA takes control of this high ground, and Void is going to be destroyed after his mech was also dispatched as well. So first cap, the first time actually going over to Lunatic-Hai.
Yeah, much better fight here this time, getting the angles there with Gido. On the Tracer. Third-person view is looking to look for the pulse bomb on respawns.
Oh, that was very close to sticking it, but unfortunately just right between the goalposts.
Felt very forced at the same time, though, and yeah, like you said, just kind of not quite finding the stick.
Build up that ult pretty easily, though, as yeah, you're exactly right. KongDoo Panthera going aggressive. Rascal picks up the kill onto Tobi, so dashes through. Transcendence going to be used from Lunatic-Hai. They're investing a lot, but they're 6 versus 5 now. Rascal with the Dragon Blade trying to pick up the kills as Miro says no, and the attack visor from EscA is tearing them up. Self-destruct comes down, but Zunba just buying all of the space that he could need.
Yeah, now we're just going to see these spawns going to get split here as Fissure gets killed, so Desync's coming down, and Lunatic-Hai look very dominant here on Control Tower now. Very aggressive use of ultimates yet again, especially Gido trying to go for that cheeky pulse bomb, but they went out in the last fight. Rascal's Dragon Blade very passive, and actually it feels like Rascal's Dragon Blades have been hyper passive every time. He's going to look for this again. Unfortunately, didn't quite have 100%.
Yeah, just building it up. Dashes in the back just to make them frightened. As EscA wants to work through this barrier. Yeah, so was I, as the pulse bomb does come in, but there's a barrier there. I believe it was just behind the other one, so understandable that it could be missed. But Lunatic-Hai now have themselves a sound barrier. They're using it to hold on a Goomba Stomp kill onto wakawaka as Miro just dispatches almost everyone. Birdring's going to die after both of his supports. There's no utility. There's 87% now. KongDoo Panthera was so close to the cap.
There's not going to be, another real push with this, with the desynced spawns. There's no way. Now they're going to get spawn capped here at the entrance to the control tower. They're trying to prevent this Winston from getting in. It's not going to happen, and that should be it.
Yep, there it is. No chance for KongDoo Panthera to make their way back. And look, we were questioning Lunatic-Hai on, would want to do that if we were in that actual room, so I like it. Lunatic-Hai making sure that they're really role-playing this one out as effectively as possible. And also demonstrating the fact that they're still having fun. We saw in the booth that they did look very, very comfortable. That biotic grenade at least hit a whole bunch of them. It's Rascal doing some work.
Okay, looks like it's going to be the low ground pusher on the backside for the most part here for Lunatic-Hai. EscA actually was up here on the top, says sorry on that spray. As KongDoo Panthera just played super far back, just again trying to avoid that dive kill, sticking together here.
EscA's going to get the Discord orb, so he does have to back himself away. Lunatic-Hai just standing on this point, though, without a heck of a lot of contest, as Void does eventually come back around. Now with all this sustain, can he actually be utilized? As that first tick is coming in very, very quickly. It's so, so close, as Lunatic-Hai are not moving from this point. It's not gained just yet, though, and no one has actually fallen, as Void will lose that mech to start off with. Gido going to be rewarded with at least the kill credit on that one, as EscA going down low but doesn't fall. Fissure grabs Tobi for now, but EscA's taken down Void, unable to get that mech back in time as Luffy's going to get jumped on. Lunatic-Hai honestly dispatching KongDoo Panthera relatively easily here as they try to defend in Hollywood.
Just wasn't enough damage coming out from birdring alone, so Gido gonna pop this Dragon Blade. They are starting to get some defensive kills here, though, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Gido actually tries to get the Dragon Blade. It's just gonna be the defense here now. 2 ticks only is the slow trickling in respawns. Eventually, with the triple support, out-sustain Lunatic-Hai, but at the beginning it was the lack of DPS.
Well, somehow, like, Void was taken out, and I was like, okay, looks like this will be the opportunity for Lunatic-Hai, but it was Fissure being kept alive for so incredibly long, being so sticky on that point that was able to give it to them, as Lunatic-Hai are going to invest their Transcendence and then the Sound Barrier. It was nicely, I guess, coordinated between the two, as they do hold on to this point for a little bit longer. Gido with a massive triple kill, gets the priority targets there as well. Both supports are
the
dead.
deny on the remake as well from Void. Timing it perfectly there with his combo. That's how you do it. That's going to be the cap for Lunatic-Hai. 4 minutes and 8 seconds of time pool. Gets a second Dragon Blade from this.
Man, who are you? Step back, my friend. You have certainly got competition within your own team.
This is, again, Gido's first time playing the hero in televised matches, so when you see him playing it this well, it's a little bit scary for Whoru, as you kind of just alluded to.
Oh, yeah.
He's got competition now. So, I mean, the issue with Panthera there for the beginning part of that push, was, and part of the reason why Lunatic-Hai had the ult economy lead, was just because they couldn't find any picks. And Lunatic-Hai was lower on health bars, but they eventually just got the picks they needed. When Void went down, you were absolutely right. That was the beginning of those ult charges coming through.
Well, Zunba actually just holding onto his life here as he backs away. A lot of picks now coming through for KongDoo Panthera, but Lunatic-Hai hold on to most of their ultimates. They're just building up towards Tobi and ryujehong's ones themselves so that they can go in for another push and give this Dragon Blade a little bit more room to maneuver. EscA will probably throw out some pulse bombs where he sees fit. Otherwise, I have a feeling that the rest are going to be relatively coordinated.
Stressful 1v1 here, EscA versus birdring. Birdring obviously more defensively positioned, so actually going to win the trade for now. Good blinks there, but it's not enough against the healing that birdring had. EscA making a mistake there to fight into that one.
Whoa, and look at this. He's going to translate that into a quadra kill for birdring. It all seems to snowball, and Lunatic-Hai are going to have to go for another one. I have a feeling that they already knew that they would have to try this again, but look at this. We're reversing through the streets phase.
They wanted to get that first pick to shove to a place where they could 6 ultimate to make sure they got the checkpoint, but EscA really committing in there, trying to force that 1v1 on the Tracer, who had the health pack advantage and the healer advantage. Just a mistake there. As Dragon Blade comes out for Gido now, maybe they commit to several ults here. The Sound Barrier used from Tobi as well.
But that was both supports already dead. There is no sustain now available for KongDoo Panthera. They have to back themselves away. They don't have the Transcendence, but there is at least a Sound Barrier that they can use, but there's Transcendence on the side of Lunatic-Hai. They utilized only 2 ultimates in order to gain that one back, and they still have the 4 left that they'd already built up, so it's nicely done.
Yeah, Panthera has several ults, but like you said, with very few used for Lunatic-Hai, it might not be enough. They're going to definitely try to stop this for the checkpoint. Or will they? Wakawaka alone.
As well. I mean, the run back from Lunatic-Hai is actually quite difficult. A lot being thrown down from KongDoo Panthera, though, that wakawaka is going to get destroyed immediately. Oh no, EscA just kills himself. That's a disaster. Okay, Lunatic-Hai are able to still at least pick up a kill onto Luffy, and the self-destruct is going to grab Void.
birdring taken out here as well, as Miro will pop that very important Primal Rage, and we'll get the checkpoint here. EscA's definitely not had his greatest moments on the streets phase here of Hollywood, but it feels like the rest of his team have at least dealt with...
Are you saying EscA's getting carried, Wolf?
I'm not saying those specific words, but I may be alluding to a similar sentiment, Atlas.
Just want to let you be held accountable there. But that's what that moment certainly felt like. Walking into your own pulse bomb. I mean, we've all been there, but it feels bad.
Feels bad. Not the first time for EscA, but anyways.
I tripped on my pulse bomb.
I tripped on my pulse bomb, guys. The push continues, though. Obviously, a lot of ults used for Lunatic-Hai with that last one. So they're again looking for some ult economy here as they shove it forward. A lot of harassment going down. Here's the Sound Barrier actually used already. They want to force this.
Yep, they throw that one in. KongDoo Panthera also invested the Transcendence to keep themselves alive, and they've traded 1-for-1 so far. Gido falls down. That could be a big deal here as Rascal did utilize his ultimate. Birdring picking up a couple of these kills, and it's nicely done. KongDoo Panthera do get control of this payload once again, and Lunatic-Hai will need to regroup, but now only with 2 ultimates by the time they get back here. One of them being that Pulse Bomb, the other being that Transcendence.
Yeah, the rollback here too. Gido gonna switch onto the Roadhog.
Yeah, Miro on the Reinhardt as well, so
a big swap here. They just want to get some picks early with the grabs and potentially some charges. Looking to get that Earth Shatter here in the next 70 seconds as Rascal's switched over to his May. Catches EscA. Nicely done.
Oh, there it is.
That's so huge for this push that only has 60 seconds left. Very well done. We've seen Rascal flex into this many times already this season. Normally with the Roadhog to pair.
That is beautiful. Using the wall to make sure that they can try and lock down this tank, but it doesn't seem to matter because the rest of the front line's being destroyed regardless. Miro lasted so long and they just picked up the rest of the kills elsewhere.
Yeah, birdring nearly with the 4 there. Zunba just being completely ignored. Needs to get out of here. There's the right click to finish him off. It's another respawn desynced. They didn't get the whole hog they were looking for, the Earth Shatter. No picks with Gido on the Roadhog, so this swap was definitely a big commitment for Lunatic-Hai, but they may regret it now. 20 seconds to go, and only the self-destruct.
Well, KongDoo Panthera have given up a fair bit of ground, but they have a fair bit to work with as far as ultimates.
Failed hook, here comes a self-destruct against them. Void gets the double!
Massive damage, Void coming in. This guy, he's looked so good, avoids the self-destruct. Lunatic-Hai's was just thrown away as Zunba had to use it to avoid dying, and KongDoo Panthera wiped the floor with this team. Overtime ticks down and they don't get the completion. It's a decent push, and that first point was fantastic from Lunatic-Hai, but KongDoo Panthera deny them at that final choke.
Really interesting to me, we'd see the switch onto the Hog and the Reinhardt there as Rascal's flexing onto the Mei.
But they immediately, like, that happened at the same time.
And it was just Rascal's walls that helped birdring dominate, cutting the D.Va off away from the squishies in the back line so the D.Va couldn't protect. So Zumba's just like, I can't get to you guys, I'm so sorry. I guess you're just going to get blown up. Birdring gets the triple. And the hooks from Gido were just, I don't think he hit a single one that entire push. Part of it, obviously, the Mei wall minimizing the area where he could actually try to hook.
Yeah, he was basically rendered useless as that Mei wall just cut up the entire walkway. And he would have had to move all the way around. He was only around corners and things like this. No real room to find those hooks.
Yeah, I mean, we could speculate as to what the idea with the Roadhog in the Reinhardt switches were, but because of the walls there, the hook's unsuccessful. I feel like there was definitely a plan for Lunatic-Hai. Definitely it was a smart strategy.
It's like find a pick, be really tanky, and like be on that payload for as long as possible until you can get the hook that you need.
It just didn't work out though, and
yeah,
it felt like it was unnecessary, and it looked silly when it failed that hard. So really unfortunate they can't get the completion on one of the easier hybrid maps to get that. Panthera looks to run standard dive here. Rascal on the Hanzo, but we know that's just going to be for Sonic Scout.
I hope he stays on it.
I hope so too, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I'm actually just really disappointed because we didn't see it in our last series as well. And I thought that that was probably going to be the most opportunity for a Hanzo to come out. It feels bad, man.
I feel like before this tournament is over, we'll see some...
Like, Libero was my last hope. He was my last hope.
Hey, he's not out of the tournament yet. Could see it against EnVyUs.
Hey, that's true. That's true. Okay.
So, ooh, nice shot there from Ryujehong. Builds a 3, builds the 5. Oh, he's sticking with it perhaps here. Sonic Arrow comes out first.
Dream!
Here we go. It's what you wanted, Atlas. Let's see if he can make it worth. As obviously you can tell, the quicker reloads here, the faster knocking of the arrows is definitely giving him a lot more DPS overall. No picks just yet. Bubble here going to be a problem for him, but now he's starting to find the damage.
Yeah, we know the Lunatic-Hai are very, very good at this particular composition. Void already taken down the mech, no defense matrix to stop these arrows as Rascal's just fishing for these kills, but he's untouched. Ain't no one can move him off this point. We've already hit the 3rd tick. And this dive from KongDoo Panthera just seems to be something that they can't deal with. There's a headshot finally onto Ryujehong, and he's being answered. So, Zunba takes him down, but Birdring's taken out Miro. Not a lot of opportunities as now Void sitting on this point feeling comfortable. Lunatic-Hai seem to be back in control once again.
Yeah, just for the time being here, Void actually wants to commit, and there's the Discord to help get the kill. This is going to be the cap, so very similar times here. 5:19 coming out for
Rascal,
Panthera. So but part of the reason why I feel like we saw that Hanzo play, obviously the buff is a big factor, but you can actually get one-shots onto heroes with this. You can do a massive amount of burst damage.
That's true. I guess that triple support makes sense.
You counter the triple support, and then obviously when you get the big Hanzo ult coming out, that just basically kills people instantaneously. It didn't matter there in the end, but kind of a cool concept here that worked out very well for Rascal.
Yep, now going to move over to his beloved Genji. We are going to have Luffy throw down the Transcendence just to help move this one along. It's answered by the sound barrier from Lunatic-Hai, who want to take back control. The double kill! Void just seems to find the self-destruct kills all the time, then grabs Zunba afterwards. Like, should this not be happening, Wolf, or is he just that good? I don't understand.
I feel like he's definitely really good. The coordination we're seeing here from Panthera, really good. Watch this, just up into the sky, and there's no way to retreat here with the Winston diving in. Fissure actually preventing their retreat there, so kind of a coordinated attempt between Void and Fissure. As I talked about before this series even began, I feel like those are going to be the big duos that are less flashy than what we're seeing from birdring, but absolutely make the big plays. They're shown sometimes off screen. Okay, here comes Fissure diving in the back, looking for ryujehong.
But Gido's already died. birdring found the stick with the pulse bomb. And that's going to make it 6v5 very early on.
He's got Primal.
They will lose a heck of a lot from this as Fissure, you're exactly right. Going ballistic.
And this is what, the fourth self-destruct we've seen from Zunba, completely worthless. Why even use it here? You're alone, you're not buying in time for anybody. You're just hoping for mistakes when you're using it like this, and now that's going to be the
Void
cap.
do it, and he's like, don't you normally get 3 kills with this ultimate? Like, it's like press Q, get 3 kills, right? No, certainly not how that one works.
Definitely not. So Rascal now about to have that Dragon Blade as the push continues. A huge time bank for Panthera as the crowd is silent, as this looks to be domination here. Gido looking for the pick with the Helix, doesn't find it.
Well, we found that this final push is the most difficult one, especially as far as defender's advantage is concerned. So Lunatic-Hai want to settle themselves in, make sure they can take control, but this keeps moving as fast as it is. This payload could certainly just park its way forward. Remember, they don't need to make the full push. They need to get just into this doorway, which is a lot easier to do.
Rascal's in the pot this.
Oh man, they've taken so many kills already. Rascal grabs ryujehong as Miro's gonna fall to this big sword that he's just stabbed into his back. Void comes through with the kills as well.
And that's it, man. That is going to be the completion. No one can even touch this team right now. It looks like Hollywood was the right choice for Panthera. Very well executed. The Hanzo push to build them the early time bank, and then just consistent